Hey guys, Brito here. Welcome back to Gold Rush the Game. Here we are for episode number 6 of our Let's Play series. So, episode number 5, we did a bit more mining and that sort of stuff. I've done a lot more stuff off camera. You can see we're up to day 11, so I'm not sure how many days I've actually been going. But managed to get a loan. For some reason I finished that episode, saved it, and left the game and came back a little bit later on, and there was no loan, so it must be a glitch. And I've got another loan, and we've got some new equipment. You might notice here that the ground's all pretty tore up. So our wash plant's still there, still the same wash plant. You can see down here we've got the digger in this corner, dozer, our loader, and I've been spending a heap of time on this dozer, leveling all this out. So leveled out like a little run back to the wash plant, leveled out all this area to get the dozer into this, the digger into this corner to start digging here, and sort of leveled just all out through here, because the plan is going to be to sort of just dig a strip down to here and then maybe come back to this end and dig a strip back. Not sure how deep we'll go, probably as deep as we can, but you'll see how much area we've got to cover. Now I can continue to push all this dirt and push it to try and fill this hole, but I don't think we're going to fill it quite enough. We might go close, but it's a lot of dozer work. If it was multiplayer, it was out at the moment, and I had somebody running the digger and the loader and doing all the gold stuff, I would be on the dozer just, filling all this hole in just to get us to the one level to make it a little bit easier. So I've got a bucket of dirt in here ready to go, or pretty much a full bucket. Still been digging a little bit with our digger. You can see I dug out this corner and been loading up the wash plant, and I went and sold all the stuff we had and bought a fuel trailer as well. So all these things are full of fuel as well. So you can see I've sort of dug down as far as we can. There's spots here that I've sort of missed, but it's not too concerning, I don't think. So what I'll do is I haven't got a lot of dirt here to play with, but we've got enough, I think, to get in the loader and head up with our first bucket. So I have taken up buckets before. It's taken up a lot of buckets actually, but yeah, I've sort of leveled this out, and then I sort of over leveled it, so I had to put in like a little ramp. The ramp's not the greatest, but it does the job. And I sort of drove the dozer up there and put a huge hole in the ground there, and funny little hikes, or peaks I should say. And also I brought the dozer up here as well, just to level out all the excess stuff that we were missing when we were putting stuff in the wash plant, because you'll see here that this goes in and it fills it really quick, but a lot of it misses as well because the bucket's so wide. I think that's it. That's all we've got, 90%. So I don't think we quite had a full bucket. But we'll leave it running. We'll jump down, run around and try not to fall in a hole. Everything should be turned off. It is. Everything's refueled as well. So we'll turn that on. Turn this on. Start up both our water pumps. There we go. So all that should be running. Yep, it is. These plugs just continually fall out, which isn't too big a deal, I suppose. But that's started up, so you can see it's slowly taken away all our pay dirt, and our gold, or our bucket's slowly filling up. Still see the excess rocks falling out here and sort of just disappearing, same as the little rocks on this side. Pretty good animation though, like I've spent a lot of time on animations and stuff, and it's pretty good. We probably really should get in the other side, but yeah, so this thing, I feel like it's probably a little bit underpowered, to be honest, and it's not the easiest thing to drive. I prefer one that wasn't what do they call it, articulated in the middle. I hate articulated stuff. I've hated it as long as I can remember. Even in Farm Sim, if I buy a loader, I try and buy one that's not articulated. get a full bucket. I think we have. There we go. We didn't take a lot of dirt out of that pile there, and we're trying not to get caught up somewhere. As you can see, things get stuck. I don't think I have diff lock. We do have diff lock. Well, there we go. I didn't realise we had diff lock on this thing, but might help. So back it out. Start to lift up our bucket. Thing is massively underpowered, I think. But I think they're still fine-tuning a lot of the machines and that sort of stuff, so can't complain too much. Try and make sure we're centered a little bit. Like, as I said, the bucket's just way too big for this machine. If you dunk the whole bucket in, you're gonna be over full. You can see a lot of the pay dirt's still going on the ground, but we'll salvage it later on. We've got the dozer there now, so we can come through and level it all out. So pretty much just need to wait. Be extra slow and extra careful with dumping the pay dirt in, because we know how easy it is to overfill. There we go. That's all that's done. So I'll take our brakes off. Head back down. Now, the camera's a little bit frustrating. I'd like this camera angle's good, but I'd like it to be a little bit higher, like, say like this high. And I like this camera angle as well, but I wish it would actually like follow the direction you're traveling instead of me having to use my mouse. You know, just follow the direction that I'm already going. It'd be much, much better. So now we'll make sure our bucket's at a decent level. Oops, lift it up. I don't want it to be digging into the ground that we've already spent a lot of time leveling out. So there we go. Pick up a full bucket. I'll actually do a U-turn here and drive forward if we can. Get out of here okay. We need to level that area out there, but need to either put pay dirt in there or push it from over there to here to sort of fill this out a bit more, give us a bit more room. Oh, this thing is shocking to drive at times. I just hate articulated stuff, as I said. We'll head on up to the wash plant again. So 43% full now. Back a little bit and just give it another bit of a turn. Dunk it in nice and slow again, as I said, because if you just tip the whole lot in, it gets well over 100%. So it's still a pretty slow process, to be honest. We really need to get our big machine going up here, which is the plan. This is what I'm going to try and do. I'm not sure. I don't really want to exit the game and come back in and that loan has disappeared. I mean, if it does, it doesn't matter. It's a let's play, so, you know, whatever. It doesn't really matter, I suppose, but there we go. I'd like to be able to earn it legit. I think it's just so underpowered. So we still haven't got a full bucket yet, but instead of digging a massive hole like we were before, now we're actually getting pay dirt from across the other side of our claim. And I haven't actually brought the claim yet. That's probably something that we need to do as well, I think. Head on in, try and pick this up. I can't really tell. I wish there was like an indicator to tell you that you got a full bucket. Obviously the dirt's moving out of the way, so I'm assuming that means that the bucket's full because it's just pushing it. The bucket does look pretty full. Oh, that was a shocking turn. Way too early. Try not to fall in our hole. Go about rough ramp. Head back towards the wash plant. Try not to go too far ahead of it. Go dunk it in nice and slow again. Oh, that was very close, like 97% then. So I might just jump out, see if we can run and jump. Oh, I just made it. I think probably a little bit too far away for a screenshot, but that was the idea. Might just get a screenshot from here. Grab a couple just in case. Use that for our thumbnail. Still tipping it in pretty slow. Make sure we don't overfill it. So that's 3 buckets from the loader. And how full is it? 80%, I think. 81% or something. So it's going to be like 4 buckets will fill it up. So we're going to have to do a lot more sort of dozer work through here, and we're going to have to dig out a lot more. Dig out a lot more of this pay dirt as well. Might try and sneak in here a little bit, and if we can, try and get some of this so we don't lose it. I think that's us. Full bucket, I think. So it's hard to tell if it's a full bucket or not. So I like Farm Sim, it actually tells you you're at 100%. So I'm not sure if you could have a meter, maybe a weight meter that just showed that you're full, that you're at 100%. And that'll be pretty ideal, I think. Or even like a weight to say how much weight, and take a maximum of like, say, 1.5 tons or 2 tons or something like that. So get up nice and close, there we go. So we're at 81%. Might roll back a little bit so we're not missing too much, hopefully. Now, still be pretty careful here because you can still fill it up, like overfill it. And when the bucket's at 100%, you're obviously just going to be throwing stuff into the machine, but it's not actually going to be getting collected by the bucket. So, just do nice little increments, dropping the material in. Probably going to need another little drop, I think. Okay, I'm sure that should be enough, or not quite. Smallest amount, I think. Oh, it's way too much now, of course. So we shut that down and jump on out. You still see the machine still working. We've got a bucket full again. So we'll stick that in a magnetite separator and take the bucket back over to the machine. That'll separate it as it's supposed to. Grab our gold out, put it in our wavetable. The rocks will get washed down and away, and then our gold will start to count. So there we go. So we'll jump back in the loader now if we can get up there. There we go. I have to start him up and tip the rest in. Oh, that's it. There was nothing left in there. So we'll head back down. Get another couple of buckets. 1/2 ounce so far. Missed our little ramp a little bit then. So you don't really need the dozer if you don't want. You can actually just pick up the dirt by using the loader, but the loader seems to dig the ground up and not keep it as level as the dozer does. Which actually that wasn't too bad. It's a little bit not level, but doesn't matter too much. Just with the machines the way they are at the moment, you really need to keep everything as level as you can, because they get stuck on the smallest things. So 0.93 ounces out of that pay dirt that we put in there. Need to bring the bucket right up and tip it in nice and slow again. There we go. So you can see we're still missing a little bit on both sides. Even at the front I've missed a little bit, but so we can move the wash plant anyway when we need to later on. Go full bucket. Head back down to get another one. I had an idea to try and get down as deep as we could, put a ramp in with a dozer, but it's a little bit more difficult than I guess most people would think. It's not as easy as I would have thought to use the dozer, but still pretty cool the way you can level everything out. Making ramps isn't as easy as yeah, as I said, I would have thought. Still not following the right path, so we need to widen this track out a little bit. Be much better if we could. Missed it again. Try not to get stuck or roll it over, will be ideal. Still, they're a pain to control. I really hate driving these things. Fortunately, it's part of the job on the claim, so someone's got to do it. There's no one else here but me. Until multiplayer comes, of course. We'll still wait for it to sort of clear. It'd be good to just be able to chuck a whole bucket in. I'm not sure about the machinery up here, if we can just chuck one bucket in and then drive off and come back or whatever, but I guess we'll find out once we get to that stage. There we go, full again. Head back down and grab some more, if it'll go forward and stop going backwards. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the series so far, and I'm having a lot of fun playing the game at the moment. Had a fair few views and new subs, and a fair few comments as well, so thank you to all those new subs, all those guys that are actually commenting. It actually means a lot to know that people are actually watching. As I've said before in previous videos as well, you know, leave a comment, let me know where you're up to. If you've got the game, if you haven't got the game yet, why haven't you got it? Are you concerned about something, or you know, are you waiting for something in particular before you purchase the game? I mean, the game's only $15, I think, US, which is pretty bloody cheap actually. So for the game you get and the current content and the quality, I'm saying that it's a pretty good quality game. I'm sure there's bugs, but I mean, there's bugs in every single game you play. It doesn't matter how old the game is. You're gonna find bugs anyway. So a lot of people have been hating on it a little bit because of the bugs, but the developers are doing as much as they can to make sure they're fixing the bugs and wipe them out as quick as they find them, as quick as we report them as well. Go another full bucket in there. Yeah, so if you've got it, why did you buy it? If you haven't got it, why aren't you buying it? You know, let me know. If you've got the game, what are you up to at the moment? Are you still using the hog pan, or are you up to the stage I'm up to, or a little bit ahead, a little bit behind? You know, let me know. Be interesting to see where everyone's up to. mean, obviously some people are going to have a lot more time than others to play the game, so they might be way ahead than some. But I'm happy where I'm up to at the moment. It's taken a little while and a lot of off-camera stuff I've done that you guys haven't seen, of course, to get a lot more gold and that sort of stuff. But as I said, I'm still having a lot of fun playing it. Hopefully it's a game that I'm going to be able to play for a long time and not get too bored of. Hopefully people are going to continue to enjoy the content that I put out. That's the main thing. I think this is like our third bucket now, maybe the fourth bucket, I can't remember. See, it's already full, you're losing the pay dirt, so we're putting it in a little bit too quick. We need to let the pay dirt sort of just drop down a little bit. Still waiting for it to go down, it's going down really slow. There we go, be able to put a little bit more in now. Hoping one more bucket will do us. It's taken a fair amount of time to get these buckets in, so it's probably, is it a little bit slower doing it this way? Yeah, sure, it probably is, but you know, this is how they would do it. If I had a claim, I'd make sure I sort of tried to dig as far away from like the entry as I could. There's no point in digging, you know, pretty much digging out at the start, because you're gonna have a massive hole. You're better off digging at the back and working your way back to the front. So when you get to the end of the claim, you know, you've got a lot more room to work with. So hopefully this will be enough to fill us up. I was going to try and fill in our little hole there. I've pushed a little bit of dirt into it, but not enough, I don't think, to fill it completely. So, but that'll be the plan eventually, to fill that hole in, so no one gets stuck in there. We don't get any machinery lost in there. So we're at 80% now for the gold. So hopefully we can get enough now to pretty much make it 100%. That'll be ideal. So we don't have to go back for another bucket. Still at 44%. I think we should be able to chuck the rest in. There we go, without having too much of an issue. I don't think we're quite going to have enough to be 100%, but that'll do, I think. Put our bucket on the ground for safety, of course. Shut it down and jump out. Oh, we're going to be close, probably like 96, 97%. 97, so shut the machine down now. You can still see we've got like rocks on the ground and all pay dirt here that we've missed. So I'll chuck this bucket into here. Chuck this on back into the machine, ready for next time. Might be quite 90%. There we go. Put that into there. Might as well empty this while we're here. Not even going to get 1% because it wasn't quite that full. There we go. So we can shut this machine down now. We don't need it anymore. Shut this one down as well. We're not going to shut down the water pump yet because we're still... We shut down this one. We're still collecting gold at the moment, so... Not sure how much we're going to have, probably 1.7, 1.8 maybe. 1.73, still going slowly. So you can see that hole that we dug before, it's going to take a lot to fill that in. See our dozer down there with our digger as well. So 1.8 ounces, that's where we're currently at. So we'll shut down this and we'll go ahead and shut down our water pump as well to save fuel. Actually, that's generator's already turned off. That should be everything off. It is. still see that we're still sort of glitching out through there, and that's where we're getting our water from, which is probably not ideal, but we'll head down now. We'll have a quick look at the dozer before we end the episode, I suppose. Sort of show you how it works, how easy it is. See, I've dug a little bit of a hole there with the front end loader, which is a bit of a pain because it will get stuck in there. It just seems to have, like, I don't know about a lack of power, but just the way everything works, it just gets stuck for some reason. Like even the dozer will get stuck. You can see I've got the blade at the correct level that we're already sitting at the moment. So as I push along, it's just going to fill the hole in, and it leaves these little like triangles and sort of, well, we call them like little windrows in the coal mining game. So it leaves little windrows behind and stuff, and the dozer will actually get stuck on them. So you've got to be pretty careful. So you can see it's pretty easy to use, just you've got to get the blade in the right spot. If I could put the blade lower, if I put the blade lower, it's going to dig into the ground. So I've got it at the correct level to make sure everything stays at the correct height. We'll fill that hole in a little bit, which I know we don't really need to do, but spin it around. It's still, I really don't think the dozer has the right sounds, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't even sound like a dozer. It hasn't got the noises of the tracks. So I'm hoping that they will fix that eventually. So you can see how tedious it is, and you can see how much time I've spent leveling this area out. So we've still got a big hill here, which I've been pushing at an angle to try and fill in the area over there. So we'll head on over and I'll show you how I work things. So instead of doing a full blade width, if you go to the interior view, I sort of keep it in the middle of the dozer. That way you reduce your little windrow there on your right hand side, which I still had a little windrow there, as you can see, and as I said, the dozer does get stuck on them, unfortunately, which is frustrating because it's like a tiny little bit of dirt and the dozer should just run straight over it, to be honest. There we go, we're off it. But it's that little tiny bit of dirt. Obviously, because it is a game, it won't get flattened like it would in real life, so I guess it makes it a little bit more difficult to go over the little humps like that, where in real life you'll just track straight over it and it'll be fine. But leaving a little windrow around the drop there for safety reasons, as we do in the coal mining game, as I said before. Leave windrows above like all drops either side, doesn't matter how high it is. So you can see there, and you get to a certain point where if you push too much dirt, it's going to slow you down a fair bit. So then you want to back straight back and try not to get caught on those windrows again. And then go over, and I just sort of flatten them out as I go, just to make sure we don't go leaving things behind everywhere. Little random knobs of dirt. So we'll continue to push through. I'm not sure if we're going to make it through too much longer because the dirt amount is starting to get a little bit bigger. Still pushing through okay, so we need to, wrong way, we need to be careful that we don't run over those windrows. Like, it doesn't make a massive difference if you do or not, but it just, if you can go backwards at the same way you went forwards, you won't get stuck like that. So we can try and spin him around. There we go. It's actually hard to see them when it's starting to get a little bit dark. So we'll turn our light on, but obviously we don't have a work light at the back. Or we do, but it doesn't really shine, so we'll continue just to level it all out. So this is something that multiplayer would be good for. So we'll have somebody over there digging in the corner, and I'll be over here on a dozer prepping the next area that we're going to dig, and then there'll be somebody running pay dirt into the well, our mobile wash plant that we've got at the moment, or the big wash plant if we ever get to that stage. And then there'll be someone else obviously just emptying the buckets and doing all the gold stuff. So it'd be good to get multiplayer. A few of the guys on my race team have already seen my videos and are going to get the game from watching my videos, so we can do a multiplayer with those guys. Or any of you guys are interested in doing a multiplayer, you know, let me know. Leave it in the comments section if you're interested. Obviously I would want it to be like a serious multiplayer game, not just a muck around thing. So I'd assume that you'd still be able to play single player. You'd just be able to have people join whenever they wanted to, which should be good as well, because everyone can't jump on at all at the same time. So if you can still play single player and by yourself and then have multiplayer when there are other people around, that'll be like perfect. So pretty much at this time of night, we either need to get a lot of work lights set up, or you just go to your caravan and sleep, so that way you can see a lot more the next day. As you can see, we're starting to struggle because the mound is that high, so it's going to get to a point where we can't push it anymore. So we'll just move a little bit to the right, keep pushing through. Still a little bit hard, I was going to say, to see behind us. Just got stuck, unfortunately, again. Let's see if I can push these out of the way. Let's push this little pile. So it's really time consuming, as I said, but it's easy to do. Once you get the blade in the right spot, you can level absolutely anything. So, but it's actually fun. It's actually enjoyable. I really would like to get a work light set up somewhere. I have to get another Jenny and all that stuff as well. So I'm not sure about building ramps and stuff. Obviously building a ramp with this would be pretty difficult. As you can see, my ramp that I built over there wasn't ideal. Wasn't too bad, but it wasn't ideal as well. Still a little bit too rough, but does the job for now. So you can see how much we've leveled out instead of the last 5 or 10 minutes. So it is very time consuming, as I said, but it's pretty cool as well. See, if you get at the right level, you can push it the whole way through, which it seems like you're sort of losing pay dirt if you do that. I'm not really sure. Sort of getting stuck everywhere at the moment. We'll keep pushing it through. There we go, we'll get to the point where we can't push anymore. I've still got that little windrow in the middle, so we can go back as far as we can, and let's see. The only thing I can suggest, if you were going to do this, to always make sure you go through and tidy up these little windrows, because you are going to get stuck on them eventually. Whether it be with a dozer or with a loader or excavator or something, you will get stuck on them, so it's best to just make sure you tidy them all up as you go. So still pushing a lot of dirt this way, try and fill this hole in. We probably will eventually get enough to fill the hole, I think, potentially. It's starting to get really dark, so we'll do one more push and I think we'll call it an episode. It's another lengthy episode. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying them so far, and hopefully they're not too long an episode, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes tops is where I want to sort of keep them at. So if you think that's ideal, you know, let me know. If you would like to see a little bit longer, we can make them longer, but I'm thinking most people will probably get bored after, you know, half an hour of watching someone play in a big, you know, dirt pit. So I'll park the dozer up, shut it down, make sure we turn the lights off. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode as well. As I said, we've got our new front end loader over there. We've got our dozer leveling absolutely everything out, and you can see just how flat it is. And as I said, these are like the little windrows that you leave behind. They're fine to walk over, but a lot of the diggers will get stuck on it. The dozer will get stuck on it. The loader will as well. So you've got to make sure you just make everything flat. So yeah, as I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, smash that like button. If you want to leave a comment, you know, please do so. I'll read them all, and I do reply to them all. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so to continue to follow our Gold Rush Let's Play series. Been Brito's Gaming. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.